We gotta pump this up, man. Bobblehead is in the house, full-fledged. Revolution is in South Africa, taking a stand. Come on, y'all. What's up, Don? How you doing? But it's gonna be alright. Here it is, man. My morning motivation is back. I want to talk to you guys that no matter what's going on in your life, put on some music. It's gonna be alright. What's up, Dave? I have to get replenish myself, replenish myself, get excited, motivated, inspired. You guys know how it is, man. Victor Glide, Alisea in the house. What's up, John? I want you guys to get your hands up, man, because motions create emotions. We gotta get all pumped up for this. Here we go. I got my bobbleheads all fixed up, and I'm ready to go. Wah, wah, wah. Rockstar bobblehead. Good morning, my party people. It's been a while. I miss you guys. Don Tony in the house. Yo, I want to know who's getting on here live. Where you coming in from, Amanda? How you doing? No matter what's happening in your life, you set your mind to it. It's going to be alright. You can fix it in an instant. Just like that, you can change your attitude. I want to talk to you guys about the edge. Living on the edge, man. And when you get to that place, it's where the big decisions are made. Woo! What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning, party people. How are you guys? I've been missing you, and I'm back in action. I'm a little late today. Couldn't find my phone. You know, I'll tell you how the enemy works. Trying to make me not get back on here, man. But I'm glad to be on here with you guys. And if you get some value from this is Victor Glide Alisea. Share it with other people, man. We're going to get going right now. The topic for today is the edge. You know, that place where you decide which way you want to go in your life. Whether you want to be a victim or you want to jump off that edge and live the life that you've dreamed of forever. You know, one of the most important realizations that we have to have, right, is in life is that at any moment in your life, no matter what's happening, no matter what's going on in your life right there, at that moment, you always know that there are options. Right? We always have an option. There's an A or a B. You know, you need to decide what's going to happen in your life. Every single day that you wake up, you have an option of what today is going to be like. How is today going to form? What am I going to do in this day or not do? Every single day. There are always options. And a lot of the times we pick the wrong ones for us, right? You know, I'm talking about when we hit that wall, right? When you get to that edge, when you're standing there on the ledge and you have a choice to do, you know? And we all have been there. Listen, I've been there where I've had enough. Where I'm physically exhausted. You know, when the deck is stacked against me, right? The deck is really not stacked against you, but we say that. We feel that. We create that. You know, the deck is stacked against me. Things feel hopeless. You put that in, you don't find an answer. You look for the hopelessness. You know, the reason this belief, this option that I'm talking about, the option, the fact that there's an option is so valuable because it's in the moments when the negative is bigger than the opportunity. It's all that we see. All that we see is the negative instead of the opportunity. When you have taken loss, and I get it, when you've taken loss after loss after loss, you know, your brain just shuts down. It shuts down. It just shuts down. It stops. It stops believing. You feel hopeless. You focus on the loss and the loss and the loss. And it creates a narrative. This creates a narrative for you for victimhood, tragedy acceptance. We start accepting tragedy as our life. It says to us, the brain says to us, this is my reality. I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. This is forever. It feels like it's forever. You feel like it's forever. I'm done. And then we let the past equal our future. The past, these mistakes, these things that have happened to us become our future. We don't move forward. We stay stuck in this victimhood. Remember, on that edge, you have options. There's always options. I get it, because look, if it's raining for 6 weeks, all right, if it's raining for 6 weeks, what are we going to anticipate? We're going to anticipate more rain. So if we're not growing for 6 weeks, we're going to start thinking that we're never going to grow. And that's why the option, remembering that there's an option, is so crucial. This option says to you, take a step back. Slow down. Take a step back. And remind yourself that you are the one pulling strings. Let's get some hashtags. I'm the one pulling strings. Hashtag my strings. You know what I mean? Anytime we choose hopelessness, we're choosing not to look at what really matters. We're just choosing to look at the bad stuff. That's all we look at. When we choose hopelessness, right? The mistakes that brought us to the wall, the mistakes that brought us to the edge. And instead of saying, I want more, I'm going in, I'm going deeper, we step back from the edge. But these mistakes, let me tell you something. I want to share something with you right now. Me and Bobblehead want to share something with you right now. Those mistakes are not you. As a matter of fact, they have very little to do with your ability to change. These mistakes that you focus on have very little to do with the ability to change. It will never, let me again, I want to share something with you. It'll never be a false statement. This will never be a false statement, okay? This will never, that the rest of your life starts right here, right now. Do you hear that? This is never a false statement. The rest, the best of your life starts right here, right now. The trick to this, man, is that focus on the ocean of opportunities ahead of you. You have to focus on the ocean of opportunities ahead of you and not the bucket of failure that you tripped over. The little bucket is a bucket compared to an ocean of opportunities. We focus on that bucket that we trip over. There's a spilled milk and we look at it all day long. Focus on the ocean of opportunity and not the bucket of failure that you tripped over. See, that bucket will always be the temptation. That bucket will always be where you want to face and focus. That bucket would be your driving force, your non-driving force, your killing force. That bucket of failure. People stand and they sit there and they watch it and they just hold on to it. Listen to me. Anyone that's successful, any single person that is successful has failed hundreds and hundreds of times, more than you. Successful people have failed more than you because they keep going. When they get to that edge, they keep jumping off. They keep jumping off. They keep jumping off until they land. They fail in investments. They fail in relationships, but they keep trying. They keep moving forward. They keep believing. They keep having the hope. But let me tell you, what really breaks you or makes you is the ability to recognize your emotional state, to realize, to understand that you're being irrational. That in this moment, when you're focusing on that bucket, you're being irrational. That you're in this discomfort. Your panic. You're panicking. It's dreary outlook. All of this stuff. Discomfort, panic, dreary outlook. Focusing on the bucket is all self-induced. Let me say that again. It's self-induced. Let me get some hashtags. Self-induced. Panic is self-induced. Your discomfort is self-induced. It's the thoughts that you focus on. You can decide to see the good. My business at times have been a disaster and I just keep moving forward and I just keep growing, So you have two options, right? You can say that you suck. You can just say that you suck and dwell on it, right? Or you can think about all the experience that you've gained in this failure. What can I learn from this and grow, right? The relationships that have happened in this past thing that you're doing. How can I use that to grow again? The lessons that you learned. And let me tell you something. Someday, when you start crushing it, somebody will pay you 6 figures, man, to get up on stage to talk about your experience when you crush it. Maybe what you're doing right now is not going exactly as planned, but someday on stage you get to talk. You get to share with others. You can do anything. You can go anywhere. And I say this because just the thought is incredible of being on stage and sharing your success and your failures, just it's liberating, and let me tell you something, unless you hold your hands out and you handcuff yourself, unless you do this and you handcuff yourself, limits do not exist. Limits do not exist unless you handcuff yourself, unless you limit yourself. The limits are self-induced. They come from that decision of making that victimhood in your life, choosing that. Listen, you have weaknesses, fine. We all do. We all have our weaknesses. We all disappear. We all get insecure. We all shut down. We all have to start over. But a better question, something better for you to focus on. What are my strong points? What am I good at? What makes me special? These are the things, again, the option. Focus on what I don't do, or what am I good at? What makes me special? And I'm not saying that you have to smile all the time when things are rough. It's tough. You have to feel that. Excuse me. Bobblehead, say what's up. What's going on, everybody? My bobblehead's a fix, man. I love it, right? You don't have to smile while things fall apart, but you don't have to fall apart. Remember that anything that falls apart can be rebuilt. Are you with me? If it falls apart, you can pick it up and rebuild it. You can learn from the pieces of what you've done to be better. You can recreate it. Don't forget. Let me tell you, do not forget this, okay? Stop limiting your perspective. Stop limiting your thoughts. Stop limiting, a loss. A loss, guys. A loss is a future gain. Let me say that again. Loss, future gain. Hashtag loss, future gain. It's a future gain. Endings are new beginnings. Do you get that? Some endings mean that you get to start over and start again. Being embarrassed means that you are working. You know what I mean? It means that you're learning. And sure, on the surface, these things can look bad. And sometimes very bad, But in the long run, all these mistakes, all these bad things are what make you who you are. All the mistakes are what make you who you are. The bumps and the pains are part of the process, guys. If you know that, if you continue to remember that there are options, that you can keep forward, overcome these, and that feeling is the best, when you can't even explain it, when you feel bad about any situation. Remember this, you are focusing on the mistakes of yesterday. You are focusing on the mistakes of yesterday, not the opportunity of today. When you feel bad, when you feel like you're not doing the right things, you're focusing on the mistakes of yesterday, not the opportunity of today. You keep focusing on what can go wrong. How many mistakes you made. And how bad it is, and how far away from where you want to be you are, and not on what's right. And it doesn't matter, how dire the situation, you can learn something. It doesn't matter how bad the situation, you can learn something from it. Put that into practice. Every situation, no matter how bad it is, what can I learn from this and grow? When you're feeling discouraged, ask yourself, what am I focusing on? That's so key, guys. Hashtag, what am I focusing on? When you're feeling discouraged, when you're feeling down, take a look. Take a look. Bobblehead takes a look. He stops and says, wah. What is it that I'm focusing on? And I can guarantee you that you're not focusing on, wow, how incredible my family is. Wow, I have a home, I have a car, I get to eat every day. You know what I mean? I have lights, and I have electricity, and I have water. You're not focusing on how far you've come, where you were before and where you are now. You're focusing on what's the pain and the suffering and the mistakes. You're focusing on the ridiculous, irrational, nonsense that holds you back, guys. But here's the deal. Stop. We will face obstacles. But I want you to be the solution in your life, not another obstacle. There are enough obstacles out there holding you back. Don't make yourself be an obstacle in your own way. And when you get to that edge, when you're standing at that edge, remember that any situation can be undone. Any situation can be undone. Any story can be rewritten. All right? Any situation can be undone. Any situation. What's up, Rebecca? That girl right there is my rock star. Thank you, man. I'm so inspired by you, and I'm back. Any situation can be done. Any story can be rewritten. And see the opportunity. See the opportunity. Not the failure. All right? Pull out your notebook, man. Today, I'm telling you right now, pull out your notebook and get to work. I want you to get to work. I want to tell you that I love you. And I want you to write the world as you see it. Your future you, where you're going. Not what has happened. Your past does not equal your future. I'm going to tell you this. The answers are all around you, guys. When you're on that edge, you have an option. You can come back, or you can jump off, man, and keep jumping off until you land where you want to watch. There's opportunities everywhere. They're all around you. Choose to see them when you're at the edge. I love you guys, man. God bless you for being on here. If you got some baddies from here, share it with other people. I'll be back tomorrow. What's up, man? My bobbleheads are working, man. I got them fixed. My little girl fixed them for me. Nice to hear you too, Ty. Hey, Taisha, do you want to go to Tony Robbins? Let me know if you want to go to Tony Robbins. What's up, team? Everybody, get those hands up high, man. Motions create emotions. We're going to stand it out. Let's go. Peace out, my brother people. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. Thank you guys for getting out here. Share it, man. It's time. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Have a beautiful day. God bless you. Bring the God always stay in the house. Morning motivation. Peace out.